Well, the one thing that's really keeping this event tonight into tomorrow from being a bigger event are the temperatures. So where do we stand with temperatures right now? In fact, when you look at temperatures right now, you see that most areas are still well above the freezing mark. Now the air is dry, so as precipitation moves into that, that's going to drive temperatures down closer to the freezing mark. That's already happened in places like Branson, where at least at the airport they're reporting 32, Harrison reporting 32, Mountain Home reporting 32. And there are some pictures and reports coming in from northern Arkansas, and it may be spotty at this time, but reports of some icing that's occurring right now, freezing rain that's occurring right now. And it looks like that risk for freezing rain will probably persist, but we're not expecting an ice storm. Just a light glaze in those areas that are getting freezing rain. And it's going to be higher elevation areas of northern Arkansas that are probably more inclined for that to happen. Looking at our hour-by-hour forecast, how this thing unfolds for us overnight tonight. The precipitation will tend to run along and south of Highway 60, but on the northern edge of this, you're going to have that combination of temperatures cold enough at the surface and also cold enough in the atmosphere higher up for this to be light snow possibly on the northern edge. Meanwhile, areas further south, it's going to be mainly a mixture of rain or a little bit of sleet, although I think we're probably past that point where there's a lot of sleet trying to mix in, or freezing rain in those higher elevation spots as I described. Now as we work through morning on Tuesday, notice how that wave of precipitation moves out. During the day on Tuesday, we'll probably still have a little bit of patchy drizzle or maybe even some light snow showers, but I expect no accumulations with that activity. Temperatures, watch them overnight tonight. Again, as precipitation builds north, temperatures get driven down. We get down and maybe very close to the freezing mark in Springfield, but we may stay, I think, just above. So I think roadways stay just wet in the Springfield area. But higher elevation areas here and higher elevation areas here will probably hover right around the freezing mark. And that's where I think we could have some slick spots, especially on bridges, to start the day Tuesday. And then during the day, temperatures will climb at least a few degrees above the freezing mark, generally into the mid-30s as we work through late morning and into the afternoon. Snow amounts, again, I think the sweet spot for this to happen is going to be primarily right in here. I had to pull model guidance, but I think that there may be a pocket right in here, Ava, north up toward Hartville and east. This is where I think we could see amounts approaching an inch, possibly more than an inch, but not much, of snowfall. As far as ice, this area I have shaded in pink, that's going to be the favorite spot for a glaze of ice. And I think I could probably expand this further east to include more of north central Arkansas based on the reports that we're getting in. Beyond tomorrow, the bigger winter weather threat is actually going to be on Wednesday. So what does that look like? Well, we're going to see another wave of snow move in to areas north of I-44, more of a mixture of rain, sleet, or possibly some freezing rain south of I-44. That quickly exits off to the east by around noon, but the snow persists north of the interstate. And I think as it wraps up and as colder air is moving in, we may see it drop further south into northwest Arkansas before pulling out of the area as we head into Wednesday evening. Snow amounts with that will be mainly focused north of the interstate. Areas north of Highway 54, so say Osceola up toward Versailles, this is going to be the zone that could see 2 to 5 inches of snowfall, locally maybe as much as 6. And then the amounts fall off very quickly as you approach the interstate. But even near and south of the interstate, I think that there's a potential for a dusting to up to an inch of snowfall with that wraparound snow. Highs both Tuesday and Wednesday, again, a little above the freezing mark, generally in the mid-30s. Falling temperatures later in the day on Wednesday, below freezing highs on Thursday, Mike. I think we recover pretty nicely on Valentine's Day with highs in the mid-40s. And then we get another one of these frigid fronts on Saturday that could lead to a changeover from rain to a little snow on the back end with a below freezing high day on Sunday.
I was going to say we may not love the forecast Friday, but it's better than the previous days, it looks like. Getting a little better. All right, thanks, Jamie.